today's video, we'll be looking at crazy TikTok conspiracy theories that I'm sure will shatter your reality.
Why can't we get beyond the ice wall? NASA won't let us.
It's a good question.
There are many entrances, but guarded by strong fields that block all attempts to cross. Another possible tunnel through or under. This ancient ship never made it. NASA covers up this secret base. Wreckage of UFO trying to cross from beyond the wall to our Earth realm.
Man, what y'all think that is? Yo, whatever that is, that's gotta be a huge, if it's a ship or whatever it may be, because if this is coming from like the Google satellite imaging or whatever, that's pretty big. You know, that's probably like, man, what y'all think that is, man? Let me know in the comments.
Allegedly found at the site. Wake up,
Allegedly.
Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. This shows a list of all the conspiracy theories in the world, from the top, the most well-known, to the bottom, the darkest of the dark, that will change your life. And welcome back, guys. Of course, as you know by now, in this series we're going from the top to the bottom, so I don't even know what part this is, but let's go. I don't like this one. I don't like it. This is Solipsism. Genuinely, if you suffer from paranoia or anxiety or anything like that, just don't watch this. Like, I actually mean it this time. Right, so you are the only real person. Everyone around you is literally an NPC, so am I. Wait, what? This is what solipsism is, just have a little read. I believe that only one's mind is actually sure to exist, which is true. The scary thing about this is there is no way to prove or disprove this.
Yo, this kind of, man, has anybody read into the hologram theory, right? Where everything in the world is a hologram and is projected from your mind. So this reminds me of the hologram theory, because in that it also states that, you know, you are like the only person seeing things, and that nothing actually exists until you lay your eyes on it, meaning that everything behind me is not there until I turn around and I see it, right? And then I vision that it's there, but once I turn around, that it's not there anymore, right? It's just a little bit crazy and a little bit freaky, but this is pretty interesting.
Ever. So everything around you is fake, everybody around you is fake, only you are real. When you look at things, when you turn around, things just spawn in. But you are completely alone in this place, and everybody is just your brain's way of making you not feel so alone. Boom. Mind blown. See you in the next one.
There's a CIA document that came out. Everybody just started talking about it now. It's called the Adam and Eve story. It basically explains how the world is going to end.
Has it been true?
It makes sense. They say the world is going to end because the poles, like, you know, North and South Pole, they shift every 12,000 to 15,000 years. And once they shift, it causes like a giant like apocalypse. Big earthquakes, giant tsunamis. Once the apocalypse happens, we go right back to the Stone Age. And it said that our first humans, like as us, it was 10,000 years ago. So if you think about it, 10,000 years ago, we're in year 2000. We're at 12,000 years right now. And now you see like global warming and like that. Like in the book, it says that we are the sixth civilization that came out of the apocalypse. So we just get to a certain point in life and then it just... And that explains a lot, because remember how you were saying that the Sahara Desert used to be green and like the Antarctica used to have forests like that? Yeah. That's what happens. Like it switches
everything, flips. Yeah.
So now like some places turn cold, some places turn hot. That's why they was talking about like the flood in the Bible like that. That's probably what happened to Atlantis and
I was
like
just
that.
about to say Atlantis. It would make sense for a city in the water if the water wasn't there before.
Yo, it sounds like what's going on in the world right now. We have all type of crazy weather and floods everywhere and forest fires, and the weather's just one day it's hot, one day it's cold. So we definitely going through some type of shift.
What is the next tallest thing we built? Stable structure after the pyramids.
What?
The Eiffel Tower.
Really?
Yes, late 1800s in Paris, the Eiffel Tower.
Huh.
That was the first stable structure we built as a civilization that was taller than the pyramids. So the Egyptians knew architecture. Those rocks are nowhere in the region. They found a place where those rocks were mined. And those are some big-ass rocks.
The thing about the pyramids that's so impressive is the precision and the sheer numbers. 2,600,000 stones.
Our best understanding of Stonehenge is that it's a functioning observatory that can actually predict eclipses.
Hey, so I think that the Eiffel Tower, I think that was built a long time before when they say it was built, but you know, that's just my opinion. I don't really have any evidence, but the pictures kind of seem a little iffy, a little photoshopped, you know, just like a lot of these buildings from back in the day. you know, the photos look a little odd. You know, you got these white vanilla skies in the background. So I don't know about that one. As far as the pyramids go, I feel like they could possibly have been built in another dimension, another realm, you know, the mind realm. And when we were in that time, they just manifested right there on the spot, like bam. That's one theory, you know.
What conspiracy theory do you believe is 100% true? Celebrities aren't actually giving their kids absurd names. They just aren't publicizing their legal names.
That makes
sense. There are
sense.
people rich enough to disappear. There must be some billionaires we've never heard of. That 95% of social media comments on news stories, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, are made by bots. For many years, people were considered crazy for saying the government is spying on everything you do online. Then the leaks started. Human cloning has already been done or attempted. We cloned a sheep named Dolly in 1996, and humans aren't that much different to sheep in their early blastocyst or embryonic development. Some government agency has probably cloned a human, and are watching over that person right now. Apple got rid of the headphone jack because Square was competing with Apple Pay. Jesse's girl and Stacy's mom are the same person. Social media algorithms are designed to enrage you and keep you unhappy. That Epstein was murdered to keep the world's elite secrets from being out.
Yo, pause. Hold on, I got two takes on how they're saying this. They're saying that Epstein, right? It could be like one of the conspiracy theories that I believe is that Epstein was murdered. All right, that's one way. But also, I'm seeing it as that Epstein, meaning that one. You know, if they were just talking about cloning and stuff a minute ago, what if they're talking about that Epstein was murdered, but the actual one is still here? Ooh, let me add to the conspiracies.
There is more to both Kennedy assassinations than has been officially released. The CIA regularly posts this topic to see if people are catching on to the real conspiracies yet. It's been decades, but I'm like 95% sure my uncle is walking around with my real nose still in his pocket. Companies create shortages just to give them an excuse to raise prices. Not all of the more recent shortages, but certainly a good chunk of them. They also make sure the hype around the shortage is scaring consumers into buying as much as possible.
The darkest conspiracies in the world. The Mandela effect. A theory that suggests that our current reality has somehow been shifted into an alternate universe. Such evidence includes things like the Berenstain Bears being Berenstain Bears, fruit of the loom, with and without the cornucopia. Even the memory of Mandela dying in prison back in the 1980s versus 2013, supposedly created by the CIA as a psyops. Are we really in an alternate reality? Hit the plus sign if you think so.
Yes, I know that I am high right now, but look at this lady. She is hitting a tennis ball against absolutely no surface.
Bro, what?
It's just bouncing back to her. Like, look at it. How is it doing that?
Yo. That just messed my mind up. What was the tennis ball hitting to bounce back at her? Like, there was nothing there. Was the wind strong enough to, make the tennis ball come back to her? Like, if it was that strong, I don't see why you'd be outside playing tennis. So, yeah, that one kind of messed my mind up, y'all. Whatever that is, that's crazy.
Every picture of the Earth is CGI. This was the owner of NASA, Werner von Braun, and on his grave he has Psalms 19:1, which is a Bible verse. The Bible verse is, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork." Why would the owner of NASA have this on his grave? Alongside of that, NASA in Hebrew means to deceive, beguiled. On top of that, look at what happens when I type in flat earth backwards into Google. NASA is the first one that comes up. Everything in this creation has a torus field, which is an electromagnetic field. At the center of this electromagnetic field, between the two poles, you have the plane of inertia, which is the heart chakra, The plane of inertia is the 0 point between the two poles. This is why we have duality here. Everything's torus fields. Atoms are torus fields. The Earth is a giant torus field. This is why the Earth is green, nature is green, and the sky is blue, because blue comes after the green chakra. This is why all compasses point to the North Pole, because it's the center of the torus field. This is where the most electromagnetic energy is stored within the field.
Hey, so it was within the last couple of years actually. I just found out that compasses actually only go north, right? And I was telling other people this and they were a little bit confused, but a compass will never show you any other direction other than north. You know, the little arrow is only going to go north. No matter which way you turn, it's going to consistently go back to north. And I was like, if there's a South Pole, why does it never show south, right? And no one could really answer that question. But in my opinion, I don't feel like there is a South Pole. Like there's one right there in the middle.
Earth can be rearranged to spell heart because we live on the plane of inertia, the center of the torus field, the green chakra.
Nostradamus is crazy. He has made some crazy predictions like 9/11. His prediction says, in the year of the new century and 9 months, which is 2001, right? And 9 months, September. Yeah. September 11th. From the sky will come a great king of terror. This is a plane. You got to think he's from the 1600s, right? If he's visioning this in his head, he's not going to know what a plane is.
What is that?
Right.
You know?
The sky will burn at 45 degrees. If you look up right now, the longitude and latitude of New York City, it is 40.5 degrees north. In the city of York, there will be a great collapse. 2 twin brothers torn apart by chaos. I don't believe in psychics for the most part, right? But then I'm like, how do I explain that?
I do have something to tell you, bruh, that I can't even explain. And till this day, nobody can, brother. It's hella weird.
Did this happen a long time ago?
Well, it still happens.
Whoa.
So this happened in Scotland at this place called Overturn Bridge or Overtorn Bridge.
I know what you're talking about.
You might have heard this, bro. Apparently since 1960, bruh, over there on this bridge, there are hella dogs for some weird reason that jump to their death from this bridge, and it's like a 50-foot drop.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, and the craziest shit about it, bro, is some of these dogs will survive the drop and then still
get back up and jump off again. That's insane.
And even till this day, the dogs still try to do that shit. So people will just avoid walking their dogs across that type of bridge.
So it could even be like, I'm walking my dog.
Yes, and
your
my
dog
will
would just
probably
jump
try to jump. Yes. Like, what is the phenomenon? You know what I mean?
What makes the dogs want to jump?
Wake the fuck up.
What?
Wake up.
Ooh, is that a devil?
Wake up. Wake up.
What is that?
Wake up. Wake
What
up.
is this?
Wake up.
Buildings in which we just saw and how heavy they were, right? Tons and tons of stones. Well, here's a stone that probably weighs about 20 tons and
Look
can
at that.
barely move from a truck, right? You're trying to move that, the truck's moving, everything's falling, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense. And especially, let's say these buildings were built in the 1800s or 1700s when there were only about 1,000 people and none of this technology existed.
Exactly.
That's another good question. How on earth did all of those things get built, right? Or moved, or something like this, right? Or something like this. I think it goes to show that when we look into the past, things were very, very advanced, but we were told that we were supposedly, like I said, running around on horses and wagons and on... So we're going to go back to 1893 Chicago, and this is not the Chicago in which I know, right? The Chicago I know does not have statues like this and look anything like this. But this is what Chicago looked like before it was reset.
Look, all of these cities before this reset looked amazing. Like the buildings, the architecture, everything looks amazing. And then they tear it all down and add these glass and steel buildings that are just so plain and rectangular and square and just bogus. It's like we are regressing in life. You know, this was grand to be able to build something like this. But what we building now, trash.
Right? The fires that we heard about in Chicago and all those things, they were removing all of this. Look at this detail. This is a completely different city in which we know of today. Because look at this. Look at the architecture. Look at the design. Think of how hard it would be to create all of this, right? We can barely make a little bean and wrap it in mirrored paper, let alone statues like this made out of copper, right? Look at this archway. Look at the detail here. This is in Chicago. This is old world history, which is not taught about, right? They keep us in the dark. They don't teach us about our true potential and how there used to be a unified, advanced society which built like this all over the world.
Are starting to believe that the U.S. may be plagued. Most of you remember when New York was covered in smoke about a month ago due to wildfires in Canada. Many people believing that the smoke was meant to cover up signs in our sun and moon, or that the smoke was a sign itself. Then towards the beginning of June, thousands of fish washed up deceased on beaches in Texas. And while the official reasoning for the dead fish is due to the rise in temperature of the water, many people have pointed out that this is unusual for this time of year. Then going over to Vegas, not only did a family have a strange encounter with an apparent alien-like species, there's been millions of crickets plaguing their streets. So many in fact that cars have been slipping on them. And some families have had to clear pathways just to walk to their driveways or cars. These strange series of events have led some to believe that the US may be going through a plague, or that these may be signs of the end times. Leave a like and let me know what you think.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh, what's
Looks
that?
like the end of the world. What is that?
Dang, that is crazy. It's got an opening in the clouds or something. I don't know. It look like two eyes looking in on the world, don't it?
Okay, if anybody can explain to me what this is that clouds? Is that where the clouds break? Is that...
What is
like,
that? Yeah.
I've never seen the sky look like this. Like, it looks like it's a shelf. Like, it looks solid almost. That's so weird.
Can y'all explain
So
that?
what is what? Because those clouds at the top are moving. But what are they moving over? Why does the sky look like this? I need somebody to help me. Please help me.
Yo, what's going on in the sky, y'all? It's some crazy phenomenon out here. I even said that wrong.
Oh yeah.
Like we got a red sun.
That's planet Nibiru, bro. That's planet Nibiru. That's not the moon. It's not the sun. That's planet Nibiru. We're fucked.
I didn't believe it
Now
until
look at
I
this.
saw it. Two suns. I thought it was some kind of internet hoax type deal. But with all that smoke out there, you can see all the two suns reflecting. I don't know if that has something to do with the refraction of the ozone layer or what. I don't know what it means, but tell me what it is.
Yo, if that's two suns, it's that time, y'all.
Unusual.
What they call it, Nemesis?
Wow.
Nibiru?
There's a portal above me. Dennis noticed it.
Oh, snap.
Complete circle.
Oh, he got all them
There's
rings.
one sun there. I blew an O. Another sun. You blew an O. I'll tell you what you blew.
Look at that, y'all.
But yeah, isn't that fucked up?
So, doesn't it look as if the sun is shining through some type of glass or something that's reflecting and making these circles? Because I really have no other explanation for this, in all honesty. I don't know. It's crazy.
What the hell? Cocksucker. Yeah. Did you get the whole thing in your picture or what? No, it's too big. But it's a perfect fucking circle. It's too big. What about Plano or something?
The government doesn't exist.
Where y'all want me to go? I'm from the city. This shit shut down, so y'all can see. Yes, this shit is shut down. Shit doesn't exist. I'm telling y'all it doesn't exist. I live in the city. The government is really, really shut down. The government really doesn't exist. They got this up to cover up the fact that no one is coming in here. No one is coming in the capital because the government is fucking shut down.
Y'all think it's shut down, or is this construction? What y'all think this is right here? Because I mean, you could say it's shut down. You could also say it's construction. I could see both sides, man. What y'all think?
It's only here for tourism purposes. All this fake construction site and all that stuff is just up here to show you, for them to make you believe that they doing construction, they rebuilding, they whatever the fuck they doing. This shit doesn't exist. No one's here at work. Trust me, no one is here.
I'm watching this dude through the mirror, right? And his face is moving, but the look at
Oh,
his face is
oh
moving,
my
but the guy
God.
in the mirror seeing the same. Yo, the Matrix is broken.
Mind messed up after that
To
one.
listen closely to this. There are some people that you cannot unplug from the Matrix.
You can't.
This is because they are eternally a part of it. Their code coincides with it. So you see now, you cannot wake them up because they cannot exist outside of this Matrix. They are programmed to defend the program.
Hmm. They're agents, basically.
Any thoughts on global warming? It's hot. It's hot.
Yo, her answer, yo. Hey, that's facts though, man. Like, she ain't lying, is she? It's hot. Shit, it's hot as hell outside.
Global warming. Is it cold or is it hot? It's hot. Yeah. That's what I said. The planet is burning up. Right. Because it's messing up. Why you? Because our ozone layer is disappearing. Right. It's not protecting us from the certain rays that's coming down on us. That's right. I know. You're gonna get skin cancer. Right. I know. But you know, black people is like a little different. Thank you.
Let them know.
Music is the problem. Because the music glorifies the music, bro, I look at this shit as a whole epic plot. All these niggas that signed all these rappers, they got
Hey, Paul, so Daylight really be on his stuff, right? I was watching some older videos of Daylight, and I didn't really know, but he's very conscious in the things that he talks about and basically his thought process. I mean, yeah, he's a battle rapper, of course, but he's a very conscious individual. So, yeah, it's something to check out.
They know what they ain't paying these kids millions of dollars for nothing. They paying them millions of dollars for something because they know what's gonna happen. Pay this kid millions of dollars, put him on the radio, he gonna promote all the fuck shit to all the people in the hood, and then they gonna do the fuck shit. And then, bro, it's psychological. Like, because I'm thinking about this. When I was younger, I thought like that. When I heard records that said shoot that nigga, rob that nigga, steal, kill, that's what I wanted to do.
Exactly.
Drummed into your ears. Shoot that nigga, kill that nigga.
You can't help but internalize the glorification of it.
Bro, you fall in love with it. You fall in love with it.
And we both know grown-ass men who are still in love with that idea. They're in love with carrying guns. They're in love with doing the drugs that kind of come
look, music has done to us, bro. Music has literally told us, shoot black people, shoot as many black people as you want, and run from the cops. That's what music is.
Yeah.
Sell drugs to our own people, buy all the materialistic shit, buy all the shit that don't help us, Aston Martins, Bentleys, all the extra shit, Rolexes, all the extra shit, spend all our money.
Foreigns.
Don't do nothing to help the family, fuck the bitch, bitches ain't shit, hoes. Like, music has, bro, I was brainwashed before. Now that I don't listen to music, my mind's so open, I listen to country music, all type of, get all these fake niggas off the street. I'll snitch on everybody, fuck it. Get off the street, my nigga.
But, so do you respect someone who stays, who says that they live by that code and then proceeds
Fuck
to?
the code.
You don't respect that?
You know what the code is? Dumb black nigga. That's the code. The code is I kill as many black niggas as I can to prove my hardness. But if it's time to really ride out for our people as a whole, I'm going in the house. That's what the code is.
Wow.
That's the game banker code. You know what the game banker code is? Shoot that nigga, smoke that nigga, running from the cops. That's the game banker code. We don't need no more game bankers. We need soldiers for our people as a whole, bro. Like, we don't need no more street niggas. We don't need no more game bankers. We don't need no more niggas selling dope to our own people. We don't need, bro. This shit is all part of an epic plan.
But what's it going to take to make
I'm gonna tell you,
the average person think of their community as their group?
Music.
Yo, perception is crazy.
Celebrity slaves,
Back
huh?
in the day growing up, we would all view award shows as like, oh my God, these are the most amazing things. I want to be there. Now, I'm like, yo, all these people there are the most cucumber sucking, scared people ever that have to put up a front, put up an illusion. They are the most scared people. They're not allowed to say what they want. They can't do what they do. They are ruled and owned by corporations and money. And they don't even got the liquid to back it up. And they live in houses that are owned by Illuminati corporations. So all these big ass pads you see them in, they don't own them. They all get funneled and they all get transferred around. They're property. Remember that. Yo, and Fat Joe is one of the biggest cucumber suckers out here.
Yo, I ain't
look
gonna lie.
at him, I'm like, yo, you're so like seemingly positive that you're so scared because you don't want to say the wrong thing because you have to answer to your higher ups. Scared people, scared.
Talk
Y'all
to
can't
him.
do what you want. Y'all can't say what you want.
Go on your computer and put on the screen the chakra system. Okay? So you see how the purple is on top, which is basically by the crown chakra, and the very bottom of it is red.
Yeah.
And the red represents the root chakra. Okay? So now take that and put it side by side with the flag.
Oh my God, you're right. Holy shit.
Purple is on the very bottom and the red is on the very top. Now you have to understand what red is. Red is associated with sex. So on the root chakra level, people who are just going around, see, these are the simps.
Yo, that's why they advertise red so much. Like in the award shows, music videos, everywhere. You see these people just having on all red. You know, that's why the people have the red shoes. Man, you know, I used to like the color red a lot. I even got a red PS4 controller. But it's like, man, at this point, I might want to get a purple one. I think purple, I mean, blue is my favorite color. So I'm kind of close, right?
Who are signing up for and the people who are basically on the streets, they're dominated by the root chakra. They're all the way at the bottom. At the top is the purple, because purple is the color of royalty. But see, with the it's the complete opposite.
Oh my God!
It wasn't a coincidence.
No, that was done on purpose.
Now this man was beyond woke.
The reason education sucks is the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork, and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. By the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged, and nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream. Because you have to be asleep to believe it.
Weed is the new crack.
Y'all heard him? It's called the American dream because you gotta be asleep to believe it. Hey, if that ain't the realest thing I done heard in a while, man, that's crazy.
Weed is the new crack.
Once enough of this artificial weed gets injected into the community, you're going to see New Jack City like you've never seen it before. The new crack is going to be the artificial weed sprayed with the cannabinoids. They legalized it so they could contaminate it and put it in your community. Biochemical warfare against African people. A lot of the marijuana that we're getting now is synthetic.
Fucked with.
And it's being sprayed by cannabinoids coming out of China. And these cannabinoids that they're spraying the weed with make the weed smell 100% stronger. Oppressed people are always looking for distractions, not to pay attention to solving their problems. Marijuana is another distraction from revolution. You follow me? If we ain't drinking, if we ain't smoking, right? Now we high on weed all damn day long.
So if LA couldn't get any creepier with all the problems with crime and homeless, I ran into this billboard on this lot. So this is a vacant lot for construction, and it says, "Live life deeper, 144 stories underground. You may never go outside again." It's so creepy. I'm wanting to know if this is real with this construction site right here, West Hollywood, Beverly Hills adjacent. A controlled.
Yo, I can definitely see this happening. There's underground tunnels and stuff all over the place, right? It reminds me of those old it's like those missile bases, right? They're like way off in the desert in some remote area, but it's a missile base and it's a large tunnel that goes down, and they have people living in there, and it's probably abandoned now, or who knows what's going on there, but that's exactly what this looks like. It's kind of like on the movie Stranger Things. Not the movie, the show Stranger Things, if you guys have watched that. They went in a little bunker or whatever. But this would be crazy. And it's like, why would they build this for people to live underground? Like, who would want to live there and never come to the surface, never see the light? You know, like, what's going to happen on the surface? Makes me think about some stuff, y'all.
Access community, 24/7 security, residents only amenities, a new standard of sustainable living, but it's all underground. Live life deeper. The world's first and only completely subterranean residences. Terrifying. I feel like it's a horror movie. It's so creepy.
Yeah, for real. Look at the gargoyles. The reptilians. More reptilians. Building secret underground tunnels.
Do y'all know what's going on in Cleveland, Ohio right now? Mothers, fathers, do you care to know? There's been 30 missing children within just 2 weeks. 30 missing children. How is it that Ohio has 11.75 million people and no one knows what's going on in Cleveland, Ohio with our children? It's not getting national news. It's not getting any coverage whatsoever.
Oh, go ahead. You can click on that.
No one's covering anything on this matter except me. I know exactly what's going on with our children. I need you to listen and pay attention. If you're operating at a low vibrational frequency, you're not going to understand what I'm saying.
And there's so many people operating at that low vibrational frequency. Y'all, it's time to up these vibrations, right? You got to be able to understand what people are talking about, be able to comprehend these things. You can't just push it to the side anymore. It's out there. They're putting it in plain sight.
What I'm about to show you is profound. It's going to be unbelievable, but it's the reason why these beings are in my background. Pay attention. I'm about to show you.
There is something dark and dangerous happening in Cleveland, Ohio. Nearly 30 children have been reported missing in the area over a 2-week span in May. That's right, about 30 kids vanishing over a 2-week span last month. It's frightening. Between May 2nd and May 16th, 27 people under the age of 18 reported missing, according to Cleveland police. And one local police chief hasn't seen anything like it before.
There's peaks and valleys when it comes to missing persons, but this year just seems to be like an extraordinary year. In my 33 years in law enforcement, this just seems like an unusually high number.
Law enforcement isn't sure if these kids were trafficked, involved in gang activity, caught up in drugs. Doesn't help that Cleveland is one of the highest crime rates in the nation. The other problem is a lack of photos of many of these missing kids. If you look through Cleveland's missing persons page, you'll see many
What color are they?
blurbs that say photo not available. These missing children's cases do not make the news unless they're Amber Alert.
Now I'm about to show y'all why this is happening. Pay attention. This is true. This is what's happening. I know it sounds unbelievable, but this is why this is taking place with our children. We must protect our children, stand by our children, love our children. But this is why Satan was the only angel that fell from heaven. It was the third that fell with him. I love y'all. Protect our children.
Yo, that's crazy. If my child ever goes missing, like, I don't know what I would do. I would go crazy. Like, in all honesty, like, I can't even comprehend what I would do. Like, I'm turning into Liam Neeson. 100%. Like, I'm not going to be able to sleep. Like, oh my gosh. Y'all got to be safe out here, man. Watch your children at all times. What's this?
This is what I deal with all the time, like, and I know it's them. I can see them. I can literally see them with my own two eyes.
Is there something on top of the roof?
And the energy coming off of them is not good at all.
What the fuck? Bitch.
Uh-oh, something trying to travel through the firmament.
Hey, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Look at that ball lightning. Oh my gosh.
Get that on film. Get that on film. What the fuck was that, yo? Yo, what the?
And what's that?
Yo. Oh shit! What the fuck was that, yo?
Like literally, okay. You see that in person, right? You're outside, you're recording it. What can you do or say besides what he just said? Besides saying, what the? Like, what are you going to do? You're just going to record it, post it on your social media, and then that's that. Like, there's literally nothing else you can do, which is what's crazy. We can see these things or these lights in the sky, but that's literally like the extent to it. There's nothing else.
Yo, did you get?
Look, I know everybody think everything is a conspiracy, although I told y'all 2 years ago, I showed y'all the report where the CIA created the term conspiracy theory for critical thinkers. It is just a weaponized term, and it is not a conspiracy that there likely is a clone-yay and clones and skin mask and Jamie Foxx might be the next one. It's not a conspiracy that these things actually exist. So I'm just going to show you guys the difference between clones and skin masks that are going around because the world is a stage and everything is not what you think it is.
So check it out, y'all. I just learned something new today. I did not know that the term conspiracy was used for critical thinkers. I have to look that up on my own now because, man, there's so many times where I'm talking to people and they're like, you conspiracy theorists. And it's like, hold on. Y'all don't even know it. Hold on. You know, so I'm going to use that from now on.
Humans made to order, mothers giving birth to themselves, babies conceived just so their body parts can be transplanted. Come with me into the scary new world of cloning. The nightmarish stuff of science fiction has suddenly become a reality. Behind those walls, there are people with the technology, the ability, and the desire to genetically engineer human embryos, to be the first in the world to successfully clone a human being.
Very pleased to announce that the first baby clone is born. She was.
Y'all, this says 19 years ago. 19 years ago, they cloned a baby. What do you think's going on today? There's a movie. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember the name of the movie, but Keanu Reeves is in the movie. And anytime Keanu Reeves is in a movie, there's something deeper behind that movie. That's just my own personal opinion. But in the movie, he works for some company and they're working on cloning or whatever, right? His family passes away, I believe, in a car accident or something like that. But what he does is he downloads all of their memories, all of their consciousness or whatever, and puts it onto some type of software or program or whatever. And then he re-uploads it into these clones, right? And he has them in these little containers, and they're like, they go from being embryo to full grown adult in like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy growth right there. So if a celebrity or somebody was to disappear or do something for 2 weeks or so, how do you know that that's still that same person when they come back onto the scene? You know what I'm saying? You got to find the minor differences, because I'm sure everything's not going to be exactly the same. Like, for instance, if they was to clone me, right? The new me wouldn't have certain scars that I have, because I've been through things that clone hasn't been through, right? That's not in my DNA. That's something new, you know? Man, it's just crazy to think about. I don't want to get too deep into that right now, but this whole cloning thing is wild.
I was born yesterday at 11:55 a.m. in the country where she was born. So this will not give you more details about the location. She's fine. We call her Eve.
Cloned is a private company. We founded that 4 years ago, got the fundings to really have lab last August. And so now we have 3 scientists working almost full-time in a lab here in the United States, with the major goal for us to produce a human embryo by human cloning.
My first gen was...
Hey, this dude right here, right? So I reposted this video on my TikTok, and dude straight up, he tagged me in the post. Like, later on, talking about he's not a clone or whatever. He was just talking stuff. Like, nah, dog, why would you tag me out of all people? I ain't nobody. I don't even got 1,000 followers on TikTok. But he went ahead and tagged me in it because they're trying to stop that information. You know, he said something he probably shouldn't have said in this interview.
I was born in Jersey. However, I was cloned by Clonate in Canada. My model number is 0112568, if anyone wants to see the registration in Clonate. When I was cloned, they wiped a lot of memory, but when I stole the documents before escaping, I read that the mother was Puerto Rican and I guess the father, the surrogate, you could say, was the sperm donor was the Sicilian.
They never do age. These masks are crazy. I need to find out where these masks are made, though, because I'm popping out like Mike Tyson on Halloween, you feel me?
I think you have my head on the stick. Oh my god.
That looks too realistic.
My son never looked at me. Oh my god.
Look at this, look. Okay, hold on. Did y'all see that? Did y'all catch that? When she took the mask had hair. When she took the mask off, the mask was bald. So that was a little bit questionable right there. Hey, I think, you know what? I'd be questioning her too, because if you look at the tone of her hands and then her face, it's like, whoa. I mean, I know makeup makes someone look a little bit different and all, but I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
Just me, or what is this creature that doesn't breathe and has fish gills or something weird?
You know what? Something just came to mind, y'all. I'm gonna wait till this video over though.
Now they say the truth is stranger than fiction. So Cher, Duet, whatever, before they take this down, because they don't want y'all to know about clones and skin masks yet. But it's revelation time, so.
So check it out. In the earlier video, they're talking about building underground, like condos, 144 stories, underground living type stuff, live deeper. And then in the airports, you have these images of all these reptiles and stuff. I think that they're building these underground tunnels and stuff for these hybrid reptilian people to live in all honesty, or for the full-blown reptilian people to live in, because they don't want to come out to the surface. They live in caverns or whatever. That just came to mind as I was watching that, but man, ain't no telling. Those masks is something serious.
Hey, look, I'm just here to report the news. Y'all can Google it.
Don't everybody believe in Google? Go Google that shit.
Do your own research to find out if it's true or not. But this girl says, I watched a video saying they use pre-cancer cells. Now, this is in regard to my video about the lab-grown meat. Now, the Associated Press did a video on the lab-grown meat. You might be right, Reese Cup. Check this out.
The U.S. approved the sale of lab-grown meat made from animal cells for the first time. What is it? We spoke with a California company who creates it.
So cultivated meat, put really simply, is real meat that is grown from animal cells.
These cells can come from a biopsy of a living animal, a fertilized egg, or a special bank of stored cells. Companies choose the cells most likely to reproduce quickly.
Okay, now wait. Did you hear what they said? The cells that reproduce the fastest.
What cells?
So I went and looked up what are the most rapidly growing cells. Look at that. Cancer cells.
Yeah.
Typically grow and divide more rapidly than normal cells.
And the cells multiply over and over and over. After several days or weeks, the meat is removed from the tanks to be shaped into cutlets, hot dogs, nuggets, and sausages. Then it's ready to be cooked, served, and eaten.
Yo, look, I was talking to my wife the other day about, the meat in the grocery store. I'm like, it don't look like that for real. They didn't put some meat glue into that and shaped it to look a certain way, and then they put some dye in there, and now you think that's a fresh piece of steak. But it's not. Exactly what he
said.
They're
taking the cancerous cells or precancerous cells from these animals to reproduce to make the meat that we bout to eat. Well, y'all about to eat, because I don't fuck with meat. Pause.
Look at that, blowing up. What is it putting in there? Blowing them up like a balloon.
Of Beyond Meat that I've stepped in to help with my greatest asset, my taste.
Now you know if she in it.
Let's see that again. Here's my impersonation of a person chewing something they haven't eaten.
This plant-based. This plant-based. This plant-based. This plant-based. This plant-based.
We have the Chicago World Fair of 1893.
Yo. My man looks like he just got out of a boxing match with a cat.
And all this is built on just under 700 acres. All these buildings, which are huge and beautiful, things we could not build today. And we were on horse and buggy back then. How we did this, I have no idea. And then after the World Fair, shortly after, it somehow, I believe, burnt down. And they had them in St. Louis and Philadelphia and all these world fairs with all these extravagant buildings, which we have no idea how they were built. And they were all destroyed in every single town, which is weird. Let's look at more. Now look at this architecture.
Look at that. Look at that grand architecture, y'all. Just take a minute to let that sit in. Think about the Chicago now and think about that. That looks amazing. Just imagine going to downtown Chicago and that's what you walk into, right? And then if you look at the people all around, they don't look as if they can create these magnificent buildings, in all honesty. And the crazy thing about it is it's not just Chicago. These world fairs was all over the United States. I'm pretty sure it was just the US. And they all burned down or were tore down after a few months, so it doesn't really make sense.
We were riding horse and buggy. We cannot build this stuff today. I mean, you see the crap we build nowadays. Big square buildings. Square high rises. Look at the detail in that work. Let's look at some more. Check that out. This is 1893. And there was electricity in all of this as well. Mm-hmm. This thing was lit up like a Christmas tree. Here goes our little god, whatever one they want to worship. It's like I don't know which one that is. I'm not too good with my gods. I only know the one right above us. But look at this. Look how big this building is. All of this was built in like less than a year for this World Fair, and then it was destroyed, is the story that they're telling you. There's a lot more to our history that they are not telling us. Mm-hmm. Let's look at some more. Look at this stuff. Literally built this to have it standing for like 6 months for it to be destroyed.
Crazy, right? So my theory is this, right? They always say that, somewhere they added 1,000 years or we lost 1,000 years or whatever the situation may be. What if this was built in the 800s, right? And they're saying that it was built in the 1800s. And they're telling all these people to come look at it one last time, basically because we're about to destroy all of this. I could see that happening, because 1,000 years time to build this makes more sense than 2 years.
That is an incredible piece of work. So this is why I don't trust our schooling, our NASA, our government. Why was something this beautiful built to stand for 6 months for a world fair and then destroyed? And all the other ones around the world were destroyed as well. That makes no sense. I don't know what happened because it's not in our history, but this is something to question. Check it out.
It's crazy, y'all. I would definitely look into the world fairs if y'all interested.
Let's talk about digital ID. We've all had those people that when you mention it, they say, bro, everything's already digital. You do your banking online and everything. What's the big deal? And that's exactly how the system has brainwashed you to think about it. Because the truth is, it's much more than just your identification that's going down digitally. It means that they're going to get rid of the entire monetary system as we know it and replace it with digital currency, meaning 100% control. So when they start pushing the climate change bullshit, and you go to the butcher and would like to buy a little too much steak to fill your freezer, I'm just going to tell you that red meat increases your carbon footprint too much and you're not allowed to do that. Next thing you know, poof, you can't access your funds. Maybe you want to put gas in your car twice in a week. Nope, not going to allow you to do that shit either. So this is the entire problem that we have been trying to explain to you about digital ID. Because we all know that it is just the start to something really fucking sinister. This would be the birth of full society control worldwide. Immediately after that comes your social credit score. Then what are you going to do? All you have to do is have an opinion and they just shut everything off. Just like that, you no longer exist. You can't feed you, nor your kids, or your family. Please smarten up. And believe me, the terms and conditions that you'll have to follow to get yourself out of the hole, promise you will fucking suck. For all those who don't see this as a big problem, give your head a shake. Wake the fuck up.
Hey y'all, what's crazy is they already are doing this in China. They already have a social credit score. Like, if you go to the grocery store and you get a loaf of bread and you look at it and you're like, I don't want this loaf, and you put it back somewhere that's not supposed to be, ding, you got a hit on your social credit score. It's crazy as that, y'all. So I hope that this isn't where we're going, but kind of seems like that, right?
You're not going to go anywhere till I show you something. He played some videos that showed clearly hidden cameras in different locations with extremely prominent people being videotaped having sex with minors. Most prominent one that stood out to me, you know, besides Bill Clinton and all that, when I saw Hillary Clinton involved with 3 underage females,
what?
I couldn't believe it. I saw Prince Andrew. There's key clips clearly showing the face of the people and what they were doing for like 5 minutes, and then another one, and then another one. It was like a montage.
Yo, that's how they control them, man.
I'll give you a little advanced warning. There's going to be a flying saucer crash on Hollywood Boulevard. What concerns me is a future false flag. You know, all I got to do is make a hologram projection appear over a city, and it would look like a scene from Independence Day where you have a huge craft hanging over the city, and people might say, please, government, take the last of my liberties so you can protect me.
Man, that hologram stuff is crazy.
This don't make sense. You're trying to tell me that they built this in 3 years, and after 6 months, they ripped it down. So for the people that don't know what this is, the Chicago's World Fair in 1893 was one of the city's most famous and infamous events, often called the fair that changed America. Now, why would you call something that?
Right.
27 million people went to this event to see elevators, the zipper, Cracker Jacks, the Ferris wheel, the first voice recorded.
You know, I seen videos back in the day, and it was like around the same time, the 1800s. They had Skype calls, y'all. Not technically Skype, but video calls. Meaning you can go to a little booth, grab the phone, and you'd be able to see the person you're talking to on the other end. This is the late 1800s, early 1900s. They have this type of technology. Out of nowhere, it just disappears, and then they reintroduce it in the 2000s. So, I don't know, man. The technology back then was just crazy. It's all just like, it's a big conspiracy, you know what I mean? And you just gotta, it's just too much to like dissect.
The first voice recording? What? They even had a giant golden statue. Some people say it was gold plated. Some people say it was solid gold. And some people say it was just fake. So the mainstream narrative says they built all of this just to host a fair. A bit like Disneyland. That don't look like the Disneyland to me.
Nah.
They're saying that it wasn't solid brick. It was only like plastering. That don't look like plastering to me. That looks like stone. 690 acres of land. They said it would take 2 weeks just to walk around and look at every exhibit. 2 weeks. They nicknamed this the White City because of how bright the electric lights shined at night. Don't these buildings look familiar? You see these buildings all over the world. This is the construction work of the Tatarian Empire, and that is the real reason why they ripped these buildings down.
I'll make this video for the people that don't know who this is, and especially our women that decide to worship the wrong people. I know y'all heard the story about how the way she shapeshifted in front of a lot of people, and then as you can read, her official world website posted this right here as you see behind me. This is what it says up close, as y'all see right here in the bold statement. It says, earlier this week, the Queen was seen by thousands of people and informed they are not acquainted with. We seek to assure the public that the Queen is still a queen and remains a respected and loved figure that they always have known. While she may not be human, she is a devoted leader and monarch, and she believes the subjects will grow to accept her and her family for what they are.
Yo, they just told us right there. They said, while she may not be human. It's the same thing like with Mark Zuckerberg when he said, I used to be human. What are y'all trying to tell us? You know, you think we stupid? Think that we don't see, can't read between the lines? Man, what's going on? And why'd you delete it if that's the case? You know, if it's something just, oh, we're not, you know, she's a queen, so we're not saying she's a regular human. Why would you delete it off of your website? What you trying to hide?
Just think about that. What I've been telling y'all this whole time. And of course you got Putin right here. And we already see what's happening right now with Putin. I mean, just think about this. Read this. Look how the way she literally touched this man. Like, he don't even want to be nowhere near around her. If you ever look at any of those meetings that you see all the world leaders in, he's always on the other side of the room. Like, this is real. This is serious. And Putin is obviously, he may not be in this group with these people. Hence this war and everything going on. This is why. But take time and read this.
Okay, y'all gonna have to screenshot these because
I'm about to add a video to this explaining how much power she really have, and it's gonna blow y'all mind. But it shouldn't surprise y'all if y'all accept who she really is.
The media has misled the public into believing that Queen Elizabeth II is a symbolic ceremonial figurehead with little or no real power. That she is a cold but harmless old relic who passes her time sipping tea at the palace. Nothing could be further from the truth. As British monarch, Queen Elizabeth II is the wealthiest, most powerful person on earth. She embodies the crown and supreme world power. Presidents of the United States are forbidden any title of nobility and are subservient to the monarch. The U.S. President is Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces based at Camp David, which is known to insiders as Camp King David. Prime ministers in Commonwealth nations like Canada and Australia are also subservient representatives of the British King or Queen. They are her spokesmen. The Governor-Generals of the Queen's Commonwealth nations represent and exercise the Queen's power on her behalf. What the general public doesn't realize is that their leaders are only representatives of the monarch and do not possess the power. They exercise the power. They do not reign, they rule.
So basically they saying the Queen runs everything.
Here's what to do if you ever observe a nuclear explosion. After the bomb has been detonated, it will form what is known as a mushroom cloud. And the size of this mushroom cloud is what you will use to determine whether or not you are safe where you're standing. This is called the rule of thumb for nuclear explosions. Let's say you observe the explosion out of your window. What you're supposed to do is take your thumb and hold it over the mushroom cloud. If your thumb completely covers the mushroom cloud, then you are safe. But if not, run for your life.
I hope I never see a mushroom cloud like ever.
Right where, Tor? Is that it, Tor? Right?
What is it? Is it somebody in the bushes? Something in the bushes? Uh-oh. Yeah, that's why I ain't messing with no camping, no woods, no none of that. It's not where I'm from, y'all.
If only they let me share this video right now. They muted the sound. Have y'all heard?
So, about 2 weeks ago, I met a man who had gone to prison for hacking. And he kind of shared with me that he has now been contracted by the Federal Reserve to consult on the rollout of the digital dollar.
Hey, ain't that crazy, right? You know, they'll lock you up for some stuff like that, right? For hacking. But then they're like, you know, this guy's pretty good. Let's hire him on our team. So they hired a criminal. Kind of like in the Bad Boys 2 movie where they went to that one nerdy guy and he was like, hey, I need courtside tickets to the Heat game. And he's like, all right, we got you. Just make sure you do what you're supposed to do. So, I don't know. I just want to throw that out there, man. It's just wild to me.
And what they decided to do was allocate $500 million in digital currency and give $100 a month to people who live in the projects for the next 2 years. And the thought process behind this is if Black people can learn how to use the digital dollar, then they'll roll it out to the rest of the world. Because they know that in order for something to reach mass adoption, the Black community has to adopt it.
You know what's crazy about that, y'all, is that the Black community has so much power. Don't even know it, right? That's why they got to do this, because we're supposedly the biggest consumer, yet we're a minority. That's the big lie right there. We're not a minority and never were. We got to understand our power out here, y'all.
What in the mark of the beast is this shit? What in the mark of the beast is this shit? What in the mark of the beast is this shit? What in the
What?
Important video. The guy behind the camera, Dylan, my son, he said, Dad, you have to check these earphones that everybody's wearing, right? The wireless earphones, everyone's wearing them, not just kids today, but adults as well. And here's one of my son's good friends who I saw these in your ears all the time. Yeah. All right, now, before this test that we're going to do, I'm sure, Vlad, you've heard us say, those things are bad for you. My kids probably told you that, but you were still wearing them.
Yeah.
Okay, but after seeing what we're going to show them, changed your mind, right?
Yeah.
All right, hopefully it changes yours as well. Look, EMF is not something new. Everyone's talking about electromagnetic frequencies. One thing we know about electromagnetic frequency is distance is the killer. Meaning, I can put a phone here, and yes, it's putting out electromagnetic frequency, but it's when it comes here is when we know we get cellular damage, and the damage.
And I also heard that, that's when you get the most damage. When someone calls you and you put it to your phone and it connects, that's when you get the most EMF radiation. But, it says, I think in the phones, if you look into the terms and conditions and all of the fine print, it says that you should not have your phone within, I think, 6 inches of your body, which is kind of crazy. And it says that you should use, like speakerphone most of the time. But to not have your phone within 6 inches of your body is kind of crazy. It's like having a house phone, but everyone's carrying their cell phone around in their pocket.
Is, bad for the brain, and it causes problems. Many people are using these thinking, okay, my phone is further away, but obviously it's giving a signal from your phone that's being picked up by the wireless headset, and that in fact is the problem with the EMF. But again, we have to show it to you. So let's just get right at it. Okay, so I'm looking at these readings right now, and Dylan, let's just show point. Okay, so hold on. His phone came near me. You can't do that because literally it picked up his phone. I was back here now. He went away. I'm 0.03. You can't see that? 0.02, which is a very safe level. As Dylan came up to me, actually, it went to 0.1, 0.3. Okay, so you can see it rose up. That's crazy. 0.3. Now, cellular damage starts at 0.5. That's not my opinion. That's the science. So let's do the study, Vlad. Let's connect your music to that.
Connected, we're playing.
Okay, you're playing. Okay, so now I'm going to bring this in to here. 1.9, 1.7, 2.3, 2.9, 3.4, 3.8, 4.6.
Oh, no.
4. You see what's happening here? 0.5 is the damage point of DNA in cells, and yet he's far beyond that point. And again, I'm picking that up in between his phone, and especially right here, it's at the highest, right at the, look at that, 15, 17, 20, it's surging even higher right now. I mean, that's amazing numbers right there as far as when you understand what that's doing to his cells and his brain. Okay, now, let's
Hold on, G. He said at 0.5 we get cellular damage, and that thing's at 20. Look, y'all, I got too many electronics around me. Something got to change.
For fun, let's compare wire. Let's do the old-fashioned stuff. Okay, let's take a measure of this now. Same song, 0.03, 0.0. Dylan came close with his phone. 0.1, 0.2. Still under 0.5. Still hearing the same music. Yeah. Okay.
Yo, that's messed up, y'all. I feel like I'm out here getting my brain fried every time I do a video.
So you guys ever wonder why we can't go to Antarctica? This is why.
So, which is initiated by the Draco reptilians as far back as 6,000 years ago.
The reptilians really came into control and started to be able to manipulate what was going on the face of the planet about 6,000 to 7,000 years ago. It is true that they have different masking technologies to be able to be in a room and look like a human, but usually they're in underground bases in various places on the globe, as well as in a huge area in Antarctica. The southeast.
You're like, what if they're able to shapeshift into a human, right? But they only have a period of time in which they can be shifted into that form, and they have to go back to their regular form. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? Like, you catch one, you gotta keep them right there forever, then you eventually see them shift. As if we'll ever catch somebody who's a reptilian, but still.
Region has a large number of underground caverns that are kept extremely warm, too warm for humans, by geothermal heat. It's a perfect place for all of these.
You know, he recorded the whole thing on his TV. He could have just screen recorded his phone, in all honesty, and it probably would have been way better quality. Nope. What was that? What they just run into? Gee, what? What? These motherfuckers are getting hit by imaginary cars. Like, can you just imagine riding down the street and you hit?
Bro,
nothing?
what is in the sky? Look at this shit.
I can tell you about that now. Those are Anunnaki spaceships. Y'all think those are just anomalies in the sky. Oh, those lights look pretty. Nah, that's Anunnaki spacecrafts. They're made out of light. Most people were waiting on the Anunnaki to be here in December. They already here, y'all. They've been on the planet cooling. Some of them just chilling, waiting on the time. It's like I guess an energetic time when they come. They could show up anytime, to be honest with you. When people giving you dates, even me, I'm like, they could show up right now and be like, what's up? Whenever you see those aren't just rainbows. Rainbows are portals, energetic pathways. Like I told you, imagine a door. Boom. They already here. They here to stop all that foolery these people been doing for so long. They finna get this business. I'm not gonna put all my faith in one being, but I'm gonna just say, shit finna change. Shit finna change.
When they say rainbows are portals, why is it that I only see it when it rains?
Bro, what is in the sky? Look at this shit.
So this is the actual video, though. Okay. That is crazy looking, though.
Yo, what the fuck is this in the sky? You got a big storm?
And right above it, a rainbow.
That shit trippy.
It's definitely trippy, man. You ain't wrong for that.
When white people came to Africa, they came showing themselves as superior to the black people, digging out things that black people taught them. You know, what we don't have in our history books is that the civilization we have in Europe today was brought to us by black people. Even black people don't know that. Even many black people don't know that. They don't know that the Moors, they were West Africans and North Africans and Central Africans that came to Europe and ruled Spain. They brought civilization to us. They showed us how to use soap, how to be clean, how to behave like a decent human being, you know? All these things we didn't know that before the Moors brought civilization to Spain. Did you know that the Moors ruled in Spain for 700 years? Where is that in our history books? It's nowhere to be found. Because why? If you are giving black people that power of having once ruled over white people, wouldn't black people start like...
You know where she was going with that. That's why they...
According to Russia...
That's why they hide all that information from us, because if we see ourselves as more than slaves, then we'll be more than slaves in this world. They don't want us to see that. That's why in all the superhero movies, I mean, as of recent, things have started to change in the media, but all you seen was white faces, all, and nothing against people, you know, it's good for those people for sure, but for everybody else, if that's all they see, it's not good. You know, you get that inferiority complex, whereas you think that this person's better than you, or only this person can be Superman. But it's like, nah, there could be a Superman of all races.
There's much more to Antarctica than the public is being told. They claim that top governments worldwide know exactly what's going on there, but they haven't disclosed it until now. Possibly an entire continent below Antarctica's ice Could this be Atlantis? Some theorists even believe that an ancient civilization that once fell actually lives and inhabits the continent below the ice. This is what essentially attracted the larger world governments to Antarctica, to see if they couldn't find this alleged continent. But why would this important discovery be kept top secret from the public? Well, many believe it's because of a discovery that Russia supposedly made back in the early 2000s. In the early 2000s, a Russian scientific expedition made an amazing discovery. After drilling 2,000 meters into the ice shelf, they'd break into a cavern and discover freshwater lakes. And much to their surprise, these lakes were not frozen. It was essentially fresh water that had been isolated down there for what they believed to be 10 million years. So after making the discovery of the freshwater lakes, the scientists decided that they wanted to set up an expedition to drill down to the largest of the lakes, Lake Vostok. It's said that this borehole took over 10 years to dig, and now it's fitted with an elevator that you can take all the way down. This elevator would take 8 scientists down to the lakes to verify their existence. But little did these scientists know, they were about to embark on an expedition that could cost them their lives. Shortly after they began exploring the lake, they would have...
Wait, he said little did they know they were about to embark on an expedition that could cost them their lives. You're going 10 miles down a hole in some ice, and you don't think that you're going to risk your life doing so?
A run-in with an organism known as organism 46B. Organism 46B was very similar to that of an octopus, except it was much more lethal. It said it had a venom that could paralyze its prey for up to 150 feet. Then it would rip them apart at its leisure. And 46B did just this to one of their colleagues while they were diving in the lake. They said that though it is just like an octopus, it is actually much larger and has 14 legs. It's believed that 46B has some traits of the mimic octopus from the Indo-Pacific, except 46B could actually take its shapeshifting to another level. One crew member found this out the hard way. He witnessed as what he believed another diver was approaching him while in the water. As a result, he really didn't pay much attention to it until it was too late. Organism 46B had actually shapeshifted itself to mimic the look of a fellow diver. He would paralyze the crew member and tear him apart. After this second death of one of their colleagues, they knew that they had to capture the creature in order to study it. Naturally, Russia wanted to study it so they could possibly use it for warfare in the future. So they'd use the female crew member who was said to have extra fantastical traits. She was highly skilled at camouflaging herself and avoiding being killed. To me, this almost sounds like a Black Widow type woman from Avengers. So they'd place a massive net in the water and use her as bait. Sure enough, the creature would show up for its feast. As it approached, she'd quickly evade the beast, and they'd capture it in a massive net. They would then get the beast on the elevator, and they'd send it to the top, where scientists would put it in a tank. They'd then study it for years on end, and it's alleged that they still even have 46B contained. This is allegedly how they've come up with all the information they have on it. Russia also wanted to study the venom it used to paralyze its prey from over 150 feet. This is just one of the possible stories that have leaked from Antarctica. It makes you wonder what else could be down there. But I gotta know, do y'all believe in this story? Do you believe in 46B? Let me know in the comments. As always, my content is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not portraying it as absolute fact. I tell the stories and let you guys decide. I know I've told this story before, but this is kind of a different angle on it. I thought it was interesting. And it was a quick story I could do, as I've been super busy trying to get my apartment around. And don't worry, y'all. Navigator Across the Ice Walls is coming up real soon, I promise. I like to let the last one marinate for a week or so before I go on to the next one. Maybe this next one I'll make a little longer for you guys. Either way, I hope y'all enjoyed this quick video. Keep watching, stay tuned, stay in the love, stay in the light, be kind to others. I am out.
First off, wasn't nothing quick about that video. That was like 4 minutes. But it kind of sounds like an off-spin on Stranger Things, you know, with the Russians capturing a certain creature and only a certain girl with certain powers being able to go in there and, you know, to be able to help out. So it kind of sounds like Stranger Things to me in a way. I don't know if I believe it or not. At least not yet.
The U.S. government plans to use melanin for military application. armor, weapons, and energy storage. In a world where the
So melanin ain't nothing but pure carbon, you know? So basically anything that's black uses melanin in some way.
importance of melanin and its connection to black people are swept under the rug or denied. The United States government is preparing to use melanin for military applications and devices. And for the ones that didn't know, they also sell melanin for $350. Some say it's more, but that's per gram. Personally, it don't take rocket science to know that nothing good would be coming out of this. They even made a movie about what they're doing to carbonated beings. I'm pretty sure we all seen the movie Get Out, and how this guy's actually a white man in a carbon man's body. They even show the process of how they transfer their consciousness. This is sunscreen under a UV light. Tell me, what are they trying to mimic? It's quite obvious that these people envy us for our skin color and biological differences. In no way am I trying to be racist, but stuff like this is literally a slap in the face.
Forward that to me too.
Holy shit, that's a meteor. That's badass.
Yo.
No.
That's not. It's not fireworks, is it?
It's fireworks.
No, they're fireworks. Oh my God, you're a
Wait a minute, what is that though?
Oh my God. That was not a meteor.
Look at that, but it's still going. Look.
Joke's on you.
Look at that, it's still going though. What the fuck? What the fuck is that?
Where's he going? Look.
Yo, what do y'all think that is?
What the fuck? What kind of firework is that?
That's not a firework at all. That's not a firework. What is that?
What the hell?
Oh my God.
You see how quick they
That's
stop
not
laughing?
a firework at all. What is that? I can't zoom in anymore. Are you getting it?
Wait.
Where'd it go?
That's crazy.
What was that?
Where did it go?
Everyone's saying it's just a plane. I slowed it down as best I can. What passes is not a plane.
It looked like a plane. Whoa, did y'all see that? Tell me y'all seen that. That was so quick. Like, it just, I could see a person not being able to see that, but it just, all right, look, hopefully they replay it. Look at that. You see it right there. Yo. They legit caught something.
Since when has it been like that?
Wait. I don't, hold on. I don't eat double stuffed Oreos, but I don't ever recall seeing it being called stuffed with one F. Maybe I'm tripping too.
A stoof? Double stoof?
Double stuff.
Bruh, y'all better quit playing with us, bruh. What is this about?
This in Miami, huh? Oh, they got some type of raid on top of a building or something like that. Were they trying to save somebody or what's going on here? I'm waiting to see somebody get lifted off. What was that all about? Imagine seeing that in your backyard. What's this? I'm gonna turn this sideways. No, not that. Looks like a portal or something. Look at
the Senate Intelligence Committee, and Arrow. They informed me that all of my information will be recorded for public record and shared with Congress. It is that important. In 2010, I was selected to go down to the South Pole Station in Antarctica for an entire year by Raytheon Polar Services as an employee of a third-party contractor for the National Science Foundation. I function in a dual-role capacity as a tradesman and a firefighter. My responsibilities required me to be more informed than most of my crew and offered me complete access to the facilities. What I learned from this unique experience needs to be shared with the entire world. The technology at the South Pole Station certainly can do what it is presented as its primary purposes, and unfortunately, much more. The Ice Cube Neutrino Detector is presented as a passive listening device for the purposes of the science as presented. But I'm going to skip right through the chase, folks. I have provided documentation that proves that the 5,160, what they call DOMs, that are embedded in the ice can actually transmit at 2,047 volts each. That gives us a long list of things to consider. It is effectively a multifaceted directed energy weapons platform that I will list rapidly a few things that it can do. Vehicle detection. We're learning that these off-world craft, on-world craft, ours or other nations, are also emitting neutrinos. So this makes the South Pole Station effectively an air traffic control station for this new level of equipment that nobody's discussing. In addition to the ability to detect neutrinos and the exotic vehicles, I provided documentation that shows that this is also a system for faster than light communications. In the past, Gary McKinnon has hacked NASA, found the off-world fleet, the list of captains, and it's apparent that if we have faster than light vehicles moving throughout this system, we're going to need faster than light communications. This is that facility. Unfortunately, I have other bad news. The season that I was there, 2010 to 2011, we converted from construction to operations and maintenance in both the elevated station and the detector array. Unfortunately, when they first fired it up, that was when we had the earthquakes in Christchurch, New Zealand. There was 2 incidental shots before they were able to target it correctly. This is an earthquake generating device as well. This is the weapons of war that we have to deal with now and what Raytheon's hiding. There's an ELF system at the South Pole Station that when I arrived, I was told it was off, dismantled, and completely defunct. In my work, I will rapidly just tell you, I had to figure out the circuitry for certain other repairs, and I found that this system is in fact completely energized, up and running, and being utilized with the other systems for nefarious purposes as well.
They send out them elf
The Atmospheric Research Observatory is in what we call the clean air sector. I witnessed myself a very powerful green laser shooting out of the top of this facility into the cosmos. This, I believe, is a secondary form of long-range communications and or a defense system. I am not saying that we need to be scared of anything that's out there, but please understand the military-industrial complex is happy to invest all of your money in alleviating their fears. A question of power comes into play for all of these facilities that are present. I assure you, I knew what was going on, I knew the load demands of the facility, and all of these new items exceed the demand for the systems that I was presented. I am doing due diligence and research. I believe there is either a secondary power supply there that is either nuclear, that was there prior to the start of the Antarctic Treaty, which prohibits such things, and or that there is some sort of exotic power supply system there that just is not in the verbiage of the treaty, so it negates the responsibility to the parties involved.
They got some new tech down there.
I think that pretty much covers it for time. If anybody wants to find out more, I have a website where all this information is at. For brevity, I'll wrap it up, but you can go to deciphering.tv. I've documented all of this stuff, and information is available.
Yo. Now that was a lot of information right there. My man's just dropped so many gems. It makes sense, right? Like why they would have the treaty for all these nations to come together and no one else can go down there, and they're trying to fight off something. You know, like he said, they'll spend all of our money to eliminate their fears, which is crazy. Man, I gotta go to that website now, y'all. I like that one.
So a man sailing, right, on a parachute. This is called parasailing. The man captures what looks like the Black Knight satellite, which is a UFO that's known to keep an eye over the Earth and observe Earth and it just happens to be in California in this video. You could see him turning his head to see if he could get a good shot of it.
That's crazy. You don't even look that high up.
Absolutely incredible and stunning footage. Share and like, guys.
I don't know what the fuck this is. I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm kind of freaking out at the moment. Let me see if I can try to... What the fuck is going on right now? What this is the second one. It is... That one sounded...
Yo, we got some strange things going on in the skies, don't we? Like, man, I ain't never seen none of this stuff in person, which kind of sucks. I wish I would one day, but I don't know if that'd be a good or a bad thing. But it just seems very interesting. Like, I want to be the one to capture it on my camera or something.
More like multiple planes, but the...
Guys, I have never seen anything like this. This is the sky here in Escazú, Costa Rica.
That's crazy. We just seen one of these in the last video.
Absolutely, it's like a sign of God. Here you have
what y'all think that is?
Mountains.
Definitely not normal though.
Wow.
Look, in the middle is like green.
I know.
Yo, I'd be
Like,
tripping.
It's like the Lord is gonna come through those clouds any moment.
Newly released footage of Vegas UFO. What? I ain't seen this one yet. Oh my, they did me with that one, y'all.
In New Orleans, French Quarter, where long lines pack this steamboat dock, as unrelenting heat is steaming the entire city.
It's really hot out here.
New Orleans could set record highs the next 4 days, with the heat index approaching 120 degrees.
I saw someone about 2 weeks ago had a heat stroke, a lady out here, so it's very hot.
Was that scary to see firsthand?
Yes, it was.
The city's top priority, caring for the most vulnerable, opening at least 9 cooling centers and hydration stations.
What is the precedent for this kind of a heat wave here?
Well, this is unprecedented. Extreme excessive heats that we've never experienced before.
The fierce triple-digit temps even impacting our furry friends who went running for cover and rendering our news crew camera unusable, frying its circuits by mid-morning.
The key thing is just take it easy. Stay hydrated and just use your good senses about it, man.
But it's the smoke from the Canadian wildfires to our north that's now canvassing U.S. landmarks like the Mackinac Bridge in Michigan, and briefly giving Chicago the worst air quality in the world.
Yeah, that was crazy
smoke
here.
once again moving towards New York City. Extreme weather also tearing through Nebraska.
Look at that.
In Wyoming, at least 6 reported twisters. Indiana also taking a direct hit.
What's going on?
All my porch furniture go whoosh, and then all of a sudden I heard the whole house explode.
Then there's the storm surging up the East Coast from North Carolina to New Hampshire. But tonight, it's the deadly heat.
Look at this. I just spoke to this guy. He's telling me they're getting ready for some serious power outages. Possibly EMP blast. I said that to him. He goes, anything's possible these days. But they're getting ready for a huge storm that's rolling up in here. He said they've been out here all night and they're just waiting. They got trucks set up on every street now. So, yep. They know something's coming.
What's going on out here, y'all?
Yep.
Their shit is underground. Their server.
Look, they're even over here. This is Verizon right here. He just said that they're getting ready. That was the electric company over there. I don't know what they're getting ready for, but they're getting ready for something big.
Dang, I just switched to Verizon too.
Let's get asked a question. How many people do you think will die in the first 5 minutes of an EMP?
I would say none. Because of the EMP? Very few.
A couple 100,000 in the first 5 to 10 minutes.
From what?
Because there's over 2,000 commercial aircraft in the air right now. And a significant number of those, if they got hit by a major EMP, it shuts the computers down on the plane. And
hey, what if this is just some type of like fear monger to get people to stop flying? because, you know, if you say, oh, we might be on the verge of an EMP and, you know, all these people might die because of the planes crashing, more people are going to be scared to fly. You know what I'm trying to say here? I don't know what's going on. I mean, they've been saying this for a while now, that we might be getting hit with some type of solar flare or something like that, or some EMP or something to knock out all the internet, but it's yet to happen.
And if you have Sully up front piloting you into the Hudson River, that plane's going to fall like a rock. So a couple 100,000 within minutes.
Demonstrated here is SRMM, Solar Radiation Magnification Management. Through a synthetic, artificial, reflective greenhouse cover, they magnify UV and infrared light spectrum, blasting it down to Earth. Once it hits the Earth through albedo, it reflects back up to this cover and is trapped and reflects back to Earth. This over and over again heats the environment. This is the opposite of what they say they're doing. You can see the cover because the light reflecting off of the Earth back up is casting a shadow off of the trail left by the aircraft on the artificial ceiling.
Guys, so here I have some facts for y'all to go and read. You know how we're investigating about this whole Monterey thing in Mexico where people are dropping dead? And everybody's got their own hypothesis. Yes, I know everybody's going to think whatever they want to think, but here are the facts. The doctors are coming out and speaking to the public because nobody in the government or in the media wants to address these deaths. They said it was because it was a heat wave and they had no idea why people were dying. Doctors come out, literally doctors come out and say, you guys are lying and you're trying to silence us and you have threatened us, because people already woke up and they're not going to be pushed around like they did during the pandemic. These doctors have grown some guts and they're saying that these 850 deaths in this past 2 weeks in Monterey are due to myocarditis. Straight up myocarditis. Pray for those doctors in Mexico that are whistleblowing, because they're threatening them. The government is threatening them and they're erasing the reports. They're writing different things in the death certificates. Guys, go read these links and look at these pictures.
Yeah, I don't know what that says, but she says they're lying.
Now look at this. It's all over me.
Whoa.
Now look at this. It's all over me.
Whoa.
Now look at this.
I mean, I don't wear sunscreen, but you know, if you need to wear sunscreen, go ahead. Trust me. You know, certain people need it.
I was born here. I'm native to the land.
I beg your pardon?
She's indigenous. Yes, I am. Do you know the word indigenous? Yeah, I do. Native to the land. I was born here. Where's my land if it's not Australia?
England? Senator Hanson believes.
England?
Bill Gates said what he said. So if you don't want to get it by now, maybe listen to the fact that he mentioned that his father was a part of Planned Parenthood. If his father was a part of Planned Parenthood, what was the objective of Planned Parenthood? He said his father. And you're talking about in the 30s now. You're talking about someone by the name of Margaret Sanger, who was the founder of Planned Parenthood. What did she say the purpose was? Margaret Sanger, who was an honorary Klanswoman. Margaret Sanger, who used to give lectures at Klans rallies talking about the population of Negroes and particularly has to be lessened. Margaret Sanger, who said that, quote, Negroes are like human weeds and should be exterminated, end quote. Margaret Sanger, who in a black and white interview with Mike Wallace said, quote, I believe the greatest sin is to bring a child into the world, end quote. And you're saying that the number one problem right now in the world is overpopulation. You are a goddamn liar. You're literally a liar. There's over 196,940,000 square miles of planet Earth, 57,255,000 square miles of land, 139,685,000 square miles of water. Who the hell are you playing with? And you're telling me that 7.7 billion people occupy all of this land? No, we do not. They scared of you,
You ever
bro.
drove through Texas?
They scared of that.
You can't fool us no more. You ever drove through Texas? You ever drove through Nevada? You ever drove through Oklahoma? How much empty space is out there? We ain't overpopulated. We are densely populated. Too many people are trying to live in a certain place. That's the problem. But there is tons of land, brother, all over this planet. It is plentiful. So knock off the depopulation tactics. And
what is it about?
That's it.
guys see this? This is the bottom of Kaukai. I mean, bottom of Leilani Avenue.
What is that?
Holy shit! Unreal! Ah, I can't believe it. Look at this shit, bro. And there's another one right behind these. This is fucking wild. There's another one off. Ah,
That's
bro.
crazy. I'd be scared to be close to it though, no lie.
There's another one right behind these. This is right here. Holy shit.
I'm over there coughing.
Unreal. Absolutely fucking unreal.
Look, the wire's on fire, the electrical wires.
You can't believe it. You just look, the fucking power lines. The wind is blowing now our way. Holy shit.
And I mean millions of crickets have been invading the town of Elko to the point where you can't even see the ground anymore. This person was driving, and because the crickets cover the entire road, it sounds like popcorn popping as he's driving over them. Multiple families have woken up to their entire house, porch, and lawn being covered in these crickets, and no matter what they do, they won't go away. Calling an exterminator isn't even an option because the whole town is infested to the point where they keep multiplying faster than they can be removed. And although the crickets are technically harmless to humans, they smell awful, are cannibalistic, and eat all the vegetation in the area. So if you didn't hear...
Look at that, crickets everywhere. Grasshoppers. Look at that.
To try to stop the attack. And when Arizona cops get there, the bees attack them. The horde of thousands of bees is finally defeated by fire hoses.
Yeah, bees
They
all
removed
over.
between 250 and 270 stingers from me.
John Fisher, who lost a leg to an infection 8 years ago, tells Inside Edition his dog Pippin was stung 50 times.
The bees attacked me in my face. They were going from my mouth, my eyes, my ears. I mean, all over, really.
The attack on Fisher comes after that horrible bee attack on a volunteer police officer in California.
Oh,
and that's
boy.
not the only one.
Oh, no.
Look at
Oh,
that.
this poor guy. They went right for my face.
Look at that.
Right, and they were like everywhere.
And in Phoenix, firefighters hosed down bees besieging a car after a mom and her 2 kids were attacked.
Yeah.
So are bees becoming more?
Always the bee, stand still, stand still.
These attacks,
Stand
right?
still, stand still, stand still.
Don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Don't do that, don't do that, don't do that,
Oh,
don't
they
do
on their neck now, look.
See?
Look, everybody gonna, what is that, a goose? Heck no.
And I'm sure you're
Man, gotta
also
attack
aware
by
of the
goose.
killer whales and the orcas that are also sinking boats out in the ocean at the same time.
Yo, I just seen a whale swallow somebody. Like, there's 2 people on the boat, straight up swallowed them. I'm like, yo, what's going on out here, man?
And teaching other whales to do the same. And y'all already know we're not in the water, so it's not us. So yeah, check this video out.
Look, there it goes.
From a couple different angles.
That's literally the video I'm talking about.
Imagine that. Yeah. And here's another angle. Here's another angle.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
See? See y'all? I'm telling y'all, man. Mother Earth is removing the parasites. Y'all should check out the series Zoo on Netflix. It's about a group of people coming together and trying to figure out why animals are attacking. See, they already put the truth in your face because they know what's going to happen. They know that nature is going to battle with us and for us. Parasites are being removed from the planet. Let's get it. Peace in.
Mud volcano. Oh. I've never seen a mud volcano before. Like they said, mud flood. Maybe that's how it happened. Grand Tartaria. Look at Cheers. What happened here? They on a cruise? See? Nope. Nope. That's why I wouldn't go on no cruise.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
No, it's gonna get blew away.
Oh my god, that guy fell. Oh my god.
Alright, get the kids before they fly away. Dang. Chairs flying?
Have the French protesters really just broke animals out of a French zoo? What? Let me tell you, man. Let's go. Alright, so if you've been on the media recently, then you would know that there is a hell of a lot of protests going on in France. Riots are happening, people are getting hurt, but that is all for another video. But something mad has just happened. Some of the rioters in France have just let animals out of a live zoo. There's this picture of a hippo and giraffe walking down the streets of Paris.
It's Madagascar.
What looks to be a flipping wolf touring down the streets of Paris. Bro is just strolling down the street like he owns the place. And the worst one is that this is apparently a gorilla that is chilling on top of a building that got set free from a zoo. Yo. And not only that, the riots and the protesters are now building cement walls on a main road, stopping any cars or emergency services getting through. Damn, I thought England was bad.
Yo, they really about that life out there in France with the protests. They not playing and they not letting up either. Like, can you just imagine walking down the street and you see a gorilla just standing on top of the building like King Kong? Like, I don't even know what I would do in that situation. Or a wolf? Like, come on. Look at this. Look, gorillas getting out. What's this, bitch? People just grabbing the little fish too. Get us some, get us some. We got dinner tonight. Thousands of fish. I won't even eat them. I don't know what's wrong with them fish. Dang. That's crazy. He got it on camera. Whoa. Look at that. Man, streets just collapsing, sinkholes left and right. It does look like a Krabby Patty.
We're on Treasure Island, and normally you'd be able to make out the San Francisco skyline behind me, but right now we're just barely seeing the Bay Bridge. And though more research needs to be done, health experts say all of this smoke exposure can create serious health problems. A typical drive over the Bay Bridge doesn't usually look like this. The hazardous smoky air has obscured the city's silhouette. The East Bay didn't look much better. Virtually everything outside has been dusted with ash.
The red sky over there in Cali, right? The red skies. It's not from fire, folks, okay? Don't let them tell y'all that. Don't let them tell you, because if it was from fire and it was from smoke.
Yeah, the red skies that y'all seeing, those red orange skies in California, is coming from Nibiru. It's not coming from the forest fires. It's not. Of course, you have red iron oxide being distributed all over the planet through these portals that's opening up near the oceans. But I also believe that it is also Nibiru that is also making the skies this color. And the reason why is because Nibiru is affecting our atmospherics. It's affecting the atmosphere now. And very soon, this air is going to become unbreathable for these orcs, these humans. And we're going to upgrade while this is happening, and we're going to be able to breathe this stuff in. Okay? Alright? So understand, people. So listen to what was being said.
The smoky air has obscured the city's silhouette. The East Bay didn't look much better. Virtually everything outside has been dusted with ash.
The red sky over there in Cali, right? The red skies. It's not from fire, folks, okay? Don't let them tell y'all that. Don't let them tell you. Because if it was from fire and it was from smoke, the sky will be black, folks. You get what I'm saying? Anytime a volcano happens, you know, just listen to what I'm saying. Anytime a volcano, like a serious volcano, will happen, like the last time Yellowstone erupted, the sun was blacked out. Okay, you see the red skies, right? Pay attention to the red skies. The red skies is Nubaru, which is some called Planet X, okay? It's coming up with the sun, and it's going down with the sun, and it's getting closer and closer. The thing is, now y'all can listen, y'all ain't gotta pay attention. I don't give a fuck, folks. I don't care. Go do your own research.
This video right here takes the cake.
Look at that one.
Watch.
Oh, yeah.
See, I've been telling y'all, this is why they make y'all update your phones. They block your camera from seeing certain things. Look at this.
Oh, my God.
Look at that.
That look like some Dragon Balls.
Look at this. Look.
Dragon Balls.
This is some Dragon Ball Z shit right here. I've been telling y'all, y'all have no idea what your skies look like. We're subjugated to a dome. See, I told y'all, the sky is the biggest projector. And to stop you from looking at the biggest projector, they had to do a smoke screen on your ass. So you can't see what's behind that projector. See, this is some Dragon Ball Z shit. They've been always telling us about this. Wasn't this your favorite show growing up? Wasn't this your favorite show growing up? I know it was mine. Look at the Dragon Ball Z. Look at this. See, when they talk about Goku and Vegeta, they're talking about us, right? Because we are the Saiyans. Saiyan, Homo sapien, sapien. And you know they're talking about us because Goku and Vegeta's hair stands up. Our hair, our ether is the only hair that stands up. I'll do a live on this for a while. See, we got the 7 Dragon Balls, right? Synonymous to your 7 chakras. The 7 chakras. And now what does that look like? A sun, doesn't it? Right? The grand solar flash, look. The solar flash, the grand solar flash that's about to happen, that's going to happen. Look, when the 7 chakras as the 7 planets are aligned, this wakes up your godhood, your kundalini energy. The dragon represents the kundalini energy, where you can make a wish. My wish is to get out of here.
So I'm saying you chose this avatar. This is an artificial. If you're here, you already understand and understand. This is an artificial construct. We're living in a simulation, and you've chosen the physicality that you have. So there isn't any victims here. And anyone who thinks that if you're melanated, you are a deficit, you absolutely are incorrect. If you came in with a lot of melanin, it means, because people say this to y'all, if you are melanated, your melanin is your reparations. Overstand again. Don't let anyone coin that. I coined that. That's what I made. If you have melanation, a high amount of melanation, that is your reparations. Your reparations is your melanin because you have the ability to leave here. The more melanin you have, it is a passport out of the firmament. Okay? So that is your that's why no one's giving you reparations here, because they overstand. The dark Kabbalists that hide underneath the ground, you know, the ones who hide and do everything with a hidden hand, they aren't able to leave, but you can. So if you came in incarnation, you would have to qualify for melanin. That's a qualification. So someone who comes in, your melanin is your reparations because you can leave. Now, I didn't say you're going to leave, and I don't say you have all the other things you need to leave, but it's a form of reparations, meaning that you came in with all of the ability to take in all light codes. Whether you take in the light codes that you should, whether you know your light codes, whether you've made your technology into the maximum capacity of taking in all light codes, then by all means, that's on you. But you have the ability with your melanin to take in all spectrums of light. If you are spending that on garbage and sneakers and smoking weed and drinking and dropping it like it's hot, having anal sex, that's on you. But that is your reparations. That's why no one's going to give you reparations, because they overstand that you are leaving. That's why they're kidnapping all of these melanated women and melanated children and using their organs for melanin on the market, because they're trying to inject themselves for the very thing that you take advantage of and that you haven't found value in. If my technology allows me to take in all life sources and codes, and I'm misusing it, or I'm eating garbage, or I'm taking in low frequency conversation and interface, that's on me. That's not on them. That's why they're not going to give you that, because they don't want you to have the fiat the dead presidents to be able to, because they already know you can leave.
Okay, I mean, I get what she's saying for the most part, but in terms of saying what your reparations are, I think here in America, at least, people want their reparations. You dig? But yeah, guys, these are some of the most woke TikToks that you'll be able to find on the internet. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.